There are two prices to pay in the kingdom. The price to be saved, Jesus paid. But after
Welcome
that,
to Burning Believers Network.
not added. The Bible says, add to your faith virtue. There are things you add. If you leave yourself the way you are, for a long time, you will just be the way you are, since you didn't add anything. There are things to add. There are things to add. In capacity building, in improving your capacity and ability, put pressure on yourself. You know how much you have to pay to become a nurse. You know what you have to do to become a doctor. You know how much you have to endure to become a lawyer. There are two prices to pay in the kingdom. The price to be saved, Jesus paid. But after that, after you have been saved, whatever else you will become, you pay. If you will be a prophet after you have been saved, you are the one to pay. If you be a healing evangelist after you have been saved, you are the one to pay that one. If you will be a seer, if you be a miracle worker, it will be, if you be somebody who lay hand on the sick and they recover, you are the one to pay for that. I'm just telling you some of the few things I have encountered in the course of my pilgrimage. 50 years of walking with God. When somebody called me in the dead of the night and said his wife shouted from the dream and died. And I said, where are you? He said, I have wrapped her and I lay her in front of the pulpit where you preach. And I said, what do you do in this church? He said, I'm a member of the technical committee who joined wire and all that. He said, you remember a day when you arrived at the crusade ground and they told you that one of the members of the committee nearly dropped dead from 50 feet in the sky because the electric bulb of the crusade got bumped and I needed to go and change it. And my head of unit asked those of us who were there, who will climb? And I said, I will climb. And I put this spear to my armpit and climbed 50 feet into the sky. And when I opened the box, I did not know bees have built their hive inside the box. So bees were stinging me all over. And the head of our unit body was saying, please come down, don't drop dead. And I said, no, I will change this bulb. Because when Baba Omolehin comes and he announces a Bible passage and there is no light to read it, they will blame our unit. When he came down, the head, the eyes, the ears, the nose, everywhere was swollen because of the bees that were stinging him. And I caught the crusade ground that night and I was told that somebody almost dropped dead. Where is he? They said they've taken him to the hospital. So I asked him, were you the one who climbed? He said, I was the one. You are the one who climbed and took that risk. He said, I was the one. And I said, okay, wait for me. And I came, I saw the dead woman. And I bent down, put my mouth to the nose, to the ears, and screamed her name and asked her to get up, and she did. I went because of the report of service he gave. If I ask, are you a member of this church? He said, yeah, when did you join this church? And he told me about since the days of Lord Lugard. That's that. Look, in that case, I will refer him, please, you should know the way to the general hospital. Carry your, a pastor will come and see you. If you have had no record, what do we refer to when trouble comes? I preached in my own audience and told them, Ojewa Nkonshi, That look for something to do in the church, so that if there's trouble, we will have something to say. The days of anonymous membership should be over. When you are just part of our statistics. We need to miss you if you are not there. Make yourself count when we are counting. But for him, when the head of unit assembled the members of his unit and said, we need somebody to climb this pole 50 feet to go and change the bulb, and for him to volunteer to go while the others kept mute, and for him to get there and encounter what he was encountering and insisted on changing the bulb, that's what brought me to the place where he laid his dead. Capacity building is not what happened one day. It's a summation of the little bits that you add together over time. Capacity building, look with me from the Bible that is in your hand. When Isaiah said, in Isaiah chapter 54, Isaiah chapter 54, verse 2, enlarge the place of thy tent. You are the one to do that. God is not coming to do that. Enlarge the place of your tent. You are the one living there, not God. You are the one sleeping there, not God. And he's telling you to do that because of what he is bringing in. Enlarge this place of your tent and let them stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. You know, when it comes to stretching, we are putting pressure on your limits. When it comes to stretching, we are putting pressure on your comfort. When it comes to stretching, we are putting pressure on your natural endpoints. When we are talking of stretching, we are pulling you beyond your normal endpoint. He says, stretch out the curtains of your dwellings. He said, do not spare. Do not spare. Do not say, leave that one. Don't get to that side. He said, do not spare. That is, no area should be spared. When he said, do not spare, no area should be spared. There are those of you, you are great Christians except for tithe. Some of you, you are great Christians except that you still drink. There are some of you, you are great Christians except for fornication. He said, do not spare. That let this matter touch everywhere. Don't be a brother that had excused certain practices and indulgences and compromises. He said, do not spare. He said, do not spare. Because those things you spare, those ones you left, those ones you did, when Joshua was conquering the land,